Hi AP Physics, it's Mr. Webster. Today I'm going to show you how to use the class Moodle that we'll be using for the class. It's going to be an important place where I post documents that you will need to access, some documents you may want to access. But it's going to be a resource that we use throughout the year. And so I want to show you how to access it and what's available, how to get there. So the first thing you need to do is get to the Clarkston homepage. Now if you don't know where that is, it's really easy. Just Google Clarkston Community Schools. Just go to the district homepage. And when you get there, you're going to see, there are a bunch of tabs. Some tabs over here, I usually use this one, but you guys probably use this one. And you'll notice the very first link under students is the CCS, the Clarkston Community Schools Moodle. So if you click there, it'll take you to the Moodle homepage. Now there's a login right over here. It appears I'm still logged in from when I was on, but you can see all the Moodles are on here for all the classes, all the teachers that choose to use this. Now we're part of CSM Tech, so you'll scroll down until you see CSM Tech. Just click on that, and you'll see all the Moodle pages that we have available to us in CSM Tech. Our Moodle page will be obviously the AP Physics. You guys will notice this little key here. There is this is password protected. You will have to use, when you first log in, you will have to use the password that I've provided in class. If you guys forgot what that was, just talk to me. I'll give it to you. It's easy to remember. But you'll need that to get in. Once you're on this page, there are a number of different sections that we will be looking at throughout the year. The first one that I want to point out is the textbook. Now, right here, this is PDFs of each chapter in our text. We will be using 1 through 14 in mechanics. We actually omit 13, but these first 14 chapters are the AP Physics C mechanics curriculum as it aligns with our textbook. They're really useful if you I know I give you a textbook for home that you just keep there. So when you're at home, you shouldn't have a problem having access to a textbook. When you're at class, we have a class set of textbooks. So if you ever need to use one there, we have them there. But if you're out traveling and you want to do some physics, or if maybe you split time between different parents' houses and your book's at one, not the other, you can still come on the Moodle and access this so you can do your homework no matter where you're at. Let's take a look. If you open, here's chapter 3, just randomly selected. If you open this, you can see the quality of the PDF is not impeccable, but it's still useful. And at the very end are all the homework questions. If I assign problems out of the text, all the homework questions are here as well. So make sure there's no excuse for not doing your homework because you didn't have a book, or not doing the reading because you didn't have access to a book. Either the book at home or the Moodle will provide that accessibility. So other things on the Moodle. The next one is the class notes. Now, I use a smartboard in class, so these are smart notebook files that I've converted to PDFs. These are the entire year. This is actually last year's notes that I gave to class. And they're broken up by section in the book as opposed to concept. So if you ever want to correspond this to your reading, you can. If you open up the notes, you'll see these are just the notes that I'm giving in class. That one didn't look all that interesting. Usually my marks are, let's take a look at this guy. My marks are right on there. So because, yes, here we go. For example, this is a problem that we solved in class. So in the notes, this is the worked solution that we'll go through. So if you miss a day in class, you can come on here. Here's the homework assignment always at the end. We usually work a problem or two in the notes, blast the concepts. It looks like this one. We're talking about friction, kinetic friction, and rolling friction. So, and static friction, of course, too. So this is just one example of the notes. If you guys prefer hard copies, you're welcome to print all these out at the beginning of the year. We don't do notes every day, but we will cover these throughout the year. So you'll want to have these. If you guys prefer to learn by writing down everything in class, that's fine. But the notes are online for your benefit. Some kids like to print these off and then kind of make notes right on the notes there too. Anything that we do, so in class, that's different. So that's available to you as well. Let's go back to the homepage here. So book notes. This one, this one's probably gonna be the most important to you guys. These are solutions for the book questions. Now, they're broken down by chapter, and they're completely worked. It's not like the back of the book that just provides an answer. These are step-by-step solutions to all the questions in the chapter. And this is a valuable resource, not because I don't want you to come onto this site and when I give you a homework assignment, just copy down all the notes or all the solutions. That's not the intention. In fact, if that's your mentality, this might not be the right course for you. There are much easier courses than AP Physics, and I assure you, that failing to grasp this knowledge early will cause major problems at the end. But should you want to check your answers, should you want to see possibly alternative ways to solve a problem, the text definitely doesn't solve the problems, certainly not the way I do all the time. There are many methods for approaching the problems, especially as we get into the course. We'll see. We can solve problems with kinematics, with energy. So there's not necessarily just one way to solve problems. So you can look here for alternate solution strategies, that is, and to check your work. But more importantly, I think the real benefit of having these on here is if you really get stuck in a problem, and you don't get me wrong, you struggled, you've reviewed your notes, your text, possibly other students, internet. This is the last kind of resort. Like, I have no idea how to get this problem going. Hopefully, you can hop on here and say, "Here's number 3." I don't know, but here's a free body diagram or showing all the forces acting on this box on the ramp. It looks like. So maybe you screwed up your free body diagram, and that's why you're having a hard time figuring out the problem. You can come here and see, oh, okay, that was my problem. I had this force, I don't know, maybe going that way or whatever. And you can correct it there and then try to figure it out. Or, maybe you got that, but you set up your Newton's second law expressions incorrectly. Maybe you didn't set the acceleration equals 0 or whatever. This is just a resource for you. And then, it works its way. It gives explanations, both grammatically, in sentences, brief sentences or fragments of sentences, and then mathematically over here, leading us to the final answer. It looks like this, I don't know what this question was. It was multiple choice one. So yeah, here's another example too. They draw the free body diagram for us. They tell us the concept, the work, leading us to the correct answer. So some of the problems you probably don't need as much help with, but some of the problems are pretty complex. If we go down to kind of like the later ones, you can see the just by the letters alone, it gets a lot more complex, and even the solution. I know kids at first have a hard time doing math when we abandon numbers and we just use a symbolic representation, the general expression. So it can be challenging. And again, this is a resource that will aid you guys in doing your homework. So take advantage of it. It's here. Let's go back to the main page here. So, okay, book, notes, work solutions. You see some are shaded, some are darker. This is my view. On your view, you'll only see the ones that are dark. See, I can kind of click, and now you can't see that on yours. And if I click that, okay, you can see that one again. So usually I just unlock the solutions for whatever chapter we're on. This is the only part here, the Moodle quizzes. This is the only part that you're mandated to participate in on Moodle. If you carry the textbook around with you, you don't need the text. If you don't want to print out the notes, you don't have to. We'll do them in class together. So if the solutions, if you're acing everything, you probably don't need those. But the quizzes you have to take. Now, there will be a quiz for every chapter. And if leading up to a test, there will be one for the 2 chapters the test is over. So we have a quiz over chapter 2 in class, but then we're going to have a test over chapters 2 and 3. So there's a Moodle quiz that corresponds to whatever the assessment in class will be. The gray ones, again, I've deselected these. Right now, the only active one is the chapter 2 and 3 quiz. So before the test, and I'll make this available at the beginning of the unit, and sometime before the day of the test, you'll have to go in and take this quiz. There are many ways to do it. You can take it in parts. You can take it multiple times. You can take it the day before. You can take it the week before. You can take it a couple times throughout the thing to test your own understanding. But I actually opened this up, and I got one out of 25 right. I only tried one question. I just clicked it just to make sure it was working, and it was. So if I want to take this quiz, when you go in here, you'll notice a couple things. First of all, the questions pop up like this, and they're all multiple choice. That doesn't mean you don't need to use a calculator or pen and paper, because you will. But all the answer choices are here for you guys. This particular quiz, the Chapter 2 and 3 Moodle quiz, has 25 questions, as shown over here. And so if you read the question, you'll select, again, you'll be doing work on the side, scrap work on the paper. But over here, I'm just gonna select an answer. Once you select an answer, you can hit next. And you'll notice, as I go to question 2, the number 1, the first question, is turned shaded gray, indicating that I've answered it. And this one, again, I'm not gonna read the question, but I'll select that, and I'll hit next. And you guys obviously will be reading the question and answering them. But you'll go through and take the whole test. Now over here, you can jump around. So let's say, I wanna see what 17 holds. I don't know, look at some graphs. Which graph of V versus T best describes a motion of a particle with a positive velocity and a negative acceleration. Velocity is positive, acceleration is negative, which means it's slowing down. That's definitely number 5. Yes. So, okay, so I can select this, and again, click next to go to the next question, or I can jump around. And let's say, maybe after doing this or thinking about it, I wasn't happy with my answer at number 1. I can go back to number 1 just by clicking on that box, and I forgot this concept. I forgot to times it by 2, or I don't know. Again, I didn't read this question, but you can go back and alter those as well. If you hit next, it's going to take you still to the next one, so you'll have to jump around to whatever you want. You can take it in order, you can move around, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. This is for your benefit. But when you're all done, you're going to hit finish. And I didn't answer. I only answered 3 of the 25 questions. So my score won't be good, but I'll hit finish attempt. And it'll take you here, and this kind of reinforces that I've answered these 2 questions and this question, but none of these other ones were answered. So do I want to submit it? In this case, I'm going to. And if I submit it, yes, I want to submit it. Yes. So you see the first question, the second question, I didn't read those. I got those wrong. All the other ones are red because I got those wrong. Number 17, that was the one I took the time to read. We got that one right. So your scores over there, and you'll be getting credit just for attempting these quizzes. Again, this is for your benefit. I trust that if you guys have any conceptual problems with this, you'll address it in class. But you do need to complete these for every chapter. Okay. Let's go back to the main page. There's just solutions, quizzes, physics questions of the week. These are writing prompts. You see, I don't have one for necessarily every week, but when I have a good idea or inspired thought relating to the topic, I have you do a writing prompt. I actually pulled one up down here. This was a writing prompt. It's loading. This was a writing prompt when it comes up on units, the SI units. There are 7 fundamental units. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know how they're determined. But in this writing activity, I encourage you guys to do a little research and find out what's this all about. On the AP Physics test, you're not going to have to do this kind of writing, but I encourage you. I think writing across the curriculum is a good idea. In addition, I think writing about these topics will help solidify the big concepts involved. This is mostly a math class. We do a lot of heavy math, contextually, with physics, but these will kind of help you nail down the big concepts, the big ideas of the chapter. The computer was old and slow, so we're still loading here. But this one's on units. There's another one about forces. I have one about gravitation. Fundamental forces were on there too. So there's some pretty good ones for you guys to write about. Just kind of ponder over. There we go. So the writing prompts always look something like this. There's a little blurb kind of introducing the topic. There are some bullet points. None of these are mandatory, but these are some bullet points kind of trying to focus your writing. These are things you may want to consider as you go through. So if you really want to talk about this one and ignore these other ones, that's fine. These are just to kind of prompt your writing. Also on the Moodle page, the trimester one review, I've deleted this or hidden this whole thing because we're back on semesters, so we won't be using that. Answer keys to the test after we complete them will be posted here, so you can go on here. And this is really useful because it shows these are my worked solutions. You see the red indicates where the points were assigned. This was a 3-point question, 1 point for each equation, substitution solve. So cool. So this is the AP Physics Moodle page. I hope you guys used it. If you have any questions, of course, ask me in class. And thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.